Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to do a full face of NYX. So the first product I'm going to start with is a primer, and this is the Hydra Touch primer, so it's meant to be hydrating. So that's the amount that I put on my hand, and I'm just going to put it all over. I would say my skin felt dry, so this straight away made it feel a lot more hydrated, which is what it's supposed to do. I just put 2 pea size amounts on my hand, and I'm just going to put that on my forehead. So I used up all of what I put out on my hand the first time, and then I needed a little bit more. So the next thing I'm going to do is foundation, and this is the Stay Matte But Not Flat. Now, a trick I've discovered that is if your foundation is too mattifying and very drying, you can mix something like a hydrating primer into it to make it blend a bit easier by adding a hydrating primer into it. I'm thinking, I don't know if this is the right shade for me. I think this is the wrong shade for me because of how light it is. I don't find it too orangey or anything for me. It's just that I think it's too light. But I also think that I can get away with it. If I feel like it's too light anyway, I can always add concealer. So I wanted to try out this NYX concealer again, because the last time when I tried it, it felt very drying on my skin. So this is like the new way of putting on concealer apparently. So just a little bit in the corner, and then a little bit on the outer corner. And I'm going to put some on my eyelids. And I'm just going to blend this out. I do think this is very drying, the concealer. So it's definitely not a concealer I would recommend to anyone. I just feel like it's very drying in underneath my eyes. I don't know if you can see it that well, but I just feel like it's very drying. There is a difference on this side compared to this side. I mean, you can see the difference. I just think it's a very drying concealer. I didn't have any new setting powder, so I used this one before. It was fine. I didn't see anything wrong with it. So I'm just going to use this one again as it's NYX. It's the HD finishing setting powder, and just going to go in with my flat brush that I always use to set my face. I don't think you can see it in the camera, but I also feel like the concealer was like a completely different colour to the foundation. Because I feel like the concealer is coming up more yellow. And the foundation was more, I think it was kind of like my skin tone, that it kind of blends into my skin tone. I'm just going to finish setting my face anyway. Okay, so now that setting is done, I'm going to go in with my bronzer and my blush. And the bronzer that I'm using is the matte bronzer. So this is what it looks like. So I'm just going to take a small brush, dip into that, and then just blend it out. That's the first bronzer in a long time that when you put on, it shows up. I mean, it has warmed up my face, so, you know, it made a difference. Okay, just going to put this on now on my forehead. Okay, and then I'm just going to go down underneath my chin. Just going to blend it down my neck and chest. just so it blends. Okay, so that's bronzer. I quite like that bronzer because it showed up straight away. Most of the bronzers I've been using are Irish bronzers by Irish brands, and they don't show up that well. So the next thing I'm going to go into is blush, and this is the NYX Professional Amber. There we go. So I'm just going to get my brush to do my blush with. Smile, and then just start blending it up. It's a very faint blush. I don't think you can really see it on camera. It is there, but only very slightly. I can keep building it up, but that's as good as we're going to get. Otherwise it's just going to look too cakey. Okay, so that is the blush and bronzer done. I went in a bit hard on the bronzer on this side, but you know, I kind of like how it's turning out. The next one that I'm really excited about is this Love You So Muchy Go highlighting palette. I know this is really popular when it came out because it's like a putty highlighter where when you put your finger in it, it's like, see, it's really cool and really weird, and there you go. So there it is. I've done my nose and my top lip and my chin there. Trying to find my highlighting brush. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to put on a small bit. There. That's a really pretty highlighter. It looks like glass, is my only way in describing it. So I'm just going to put on a little bit over this side. There we go. I love that highlight, I really do. The next thing I'm going to do is eyeshadow, and this is called the Ultimate Edit. So it's the small eyeshadow palette. It's all neutral colours. They also have that palette, the neutral palette, that I have in the small, in a larger version, where there's just more colours. Okay, so I'm just going to start by using a neutral shade. I go in with this brown first. There aren't any names. Oh, I just got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So depending on what side you want to go from, I'm going to start from 1, 2, 3. So this is number 3. Okay, so I'm just going to start by popping this in the crease. You know what I'm most surprised at is that I'm really happy with how this is turning out. It's like all the face products that I used are basically turning out to just be natural everyday makeup, really. Okay, so I'm gonna go into this shade over here, which is this shimmery shade. Don't think it's really showing up on the camera. There we go. So it's just a neutral smoky eye look. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go back in with this brush, and I'm just going to get a darker shade, one here, which is letter number 6, and then go into the outer corner with it. Yeah, so I felt like that first colour that I put on didn't really go with that shimmer shade. So I just put the darker colour all over the crease as well. And it just gives that little bit more smoky look to it. And that's it for the eyeshadow palette. They are very neutral shades. I'll hold it up here. But the first colour that I put on this one, it has like a red undertone. And I don't think it went with this shade that I used as shimmer. But overall the eyeshadows worked and they're pretty good quality actually. I don't have a mascara from NYX to use, so most of the time the mascara that I use is just the Essence Princess Lash Mascara. another primer that I have but I didn't use was the Shine Killer. You're meant to put on like only like a pea size amount on your hand. This one, put it all over your face, and it's supposed to stop you from getting oily. But I used it once, and I just felt like it did not work, so I never used it again. Now the next one that I want to show you is the NYX Powder Puff Flippy. These were very popular when they first came out because they were very trendy. I don't have a lip liner for this. And there you go. Just a very, very basic, neutral makeup look. And that's it. It's so easy. Most of the products that I use, they really work today. Yeah, I don't have anything bad to complain about, which is really weird. I mean, I went in with the powder too hard, for the bronzer too hard at this side. The blush, that was the only thing where it didn't show up really. It's a very muted and neutral colour, that you really have to build it up to get somewhere. But yeah, overall I really like this look. The highlight, I love that. I've used that before and I love it. Powder Puff Flippies, I've used them before as well. I might say they're a little bit drying after a while when it dries down. You know, after if you're wearing it for a few hours. That's the only thing with that one. Actually, what I wanted to do also was to grab the highlighter, put it on my finger, and just do that. And it just makes the eyelid pop that bit more. Gonna go back in, put a little bit more on. And there we go. It just makes the eyelid pop that little bit more. As well as putting some on there. A little bit too hard. Shouldn't really be doing this with a finger, you know. Should be using a brush. But yeah, it's just a basic, neutral, everyday look. Most of the products work. The theme I don't understand is the eyeshadow palette, because I just find the red shades don't really go with the shimmer. But yeah, that's it really overall. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. It would really help me if you invited your friends to follow my channel and all that. But yeah, I really like this makeup look and I hope you enjoyed this video as well. Thanks guys.